Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. It's mint and chocolate, and y'all know how I feel about mint and chocolate. So hopefully this is good. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, excuse me, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is not really the case in this instance. I actually bought this item probably about a week and a half ago, something like that. I went over there, I hopped into a gas station real quick, and I was just going to grab a drink, but they had like a little table set up where I was like, hey, here's some new items that we carry. And I went over there and I saw the thing, and I was like, it's mint chocolate. So, anyway, what is it that I'm going to be trying for you that is mint chocolate? Because, folks, you know I love mint chocolate. Well, it happens to be, boom, it's these things. They are Power Crunch Protein Energy Bar Chocolate Mint Flavor. 13 grams of protein, only 5 grams of sugar, 220 calories, as you do. Contains 5 bars. That's good to know. Let's get a thing for the thing. Can we get a thing for... Let's do it over here. I usually do it on the other side. Can we do a thing? Ha 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 ha! Yeah! So let's try out some protein bar things. Because, I guess. I've reviewed plenty of protein bar stuff. I'm not entirely opposed to the idea. Just, they're not usually that great. Let's give this... it looks like it's basically just a wafer. Which, wafers are good. It looks like... looks like that. So it just kind of looks like a very flat, like, Nutter Butter. Or, not Nutter Butter. Like, Nutty Buddies? Is that what the hell they're called? I don't remember. They're from Little Debbie. Let's give this one a go. Definitely a wafer. Ooh. Mint coming on stronger than I was thinking it was going to. Alright. Okay. As I was eating it, my hopes were raising higher and higher because I like the nice wafer crispiness of it. I mean, genuinely, very solid on that front. I was enjoying that. And then when the mint started to kick in, I was like, okay, that's some proper mint flavor. Like it's very distinguishable, I was like, okay, this is good. I'm liking this. Mint, it's chocolate, it's wafers. Come on now. Hell, I've reviewed, or did I end up, I don't think I've ever reviewed it. I think I just eat them occasionally. The mint chocolate Kit Kats. That's a similar kind of idea. Obviously a little bit different format. But, so I was like, okay, man, I'm super down with this. And in my head, it was thinking, and it doesn't even seem to have any of the hallmarks of protein bars and, things like that I don't typically like. But I was thinking a bit too far ahead because as I was going over there and eating it, and as it began to congeal, become its, one thing, the nice crispiness of the wafer began to kind of fall away, and instead it became that kind of protein paste that, yeah. And then that's when the protein barness of it began to become a little bit more apparent. Now, I will say this, it never went to an outright abrasive level, just a noticeable level. Because for me, like protein bars and stuff, like, again, I'm not opposed to the idea. Most of them suck ass. Like, let's be honest. Most of them are not good in terms of flavor. Like, they try to mask it with this, that, and the other thing, but, like, fundamentally what they are, it's not something that's all that tasty. They tend to be a little bit chalky. Again, they kind of like a, almost like a pastiness with some of them. And, so like when it got to that point, I was like, oh no, there it is. But never really took on the chalky quality, I will say that, which was really good. And even when it did get to the pastiness, there was still enough of that crispy wafer that it didn't completely detract from the experience. Because the thing is, chocolate aspect is nice. Not amazing, but decent enough. Yeah. Problem is that when you have a protein bar, that kind of thing, you're trying to find ways to mask that it's a protein bar, basically. And with this one, I think they did a really good job in pretty much all regards. I like that from a flavor standpoint. I mean, they chose mint chocolate, which makes me super happy because I love fucking mint chocolate. And they even went as far as to actually do a good job with it. Like I said, the chocolate aspect is nice. The mint is actually surprisingly nice. It's a very nice flavor. So in that regard, they nailed it. And even in texture, by making it a wafer, they were able to mostly mitigate, that kind of protein bar-ness of the experience. Not 100%. It does still creep up in there. Again, it becomes that kind of protein paste, which isn't my favorite thing. But if we're talking about their ability to mask what it actually is, I'd say they got about 85% of the way there. I'd be willing to go that far. I think if I were eating this and I didn't know it was a protein bar, I would figure it out, but it would take me a little bit to do so. There is something to be said for that. Now, two questions have to be asked, folks. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? I mean, I'm not a protein bar person. I typically only get them if I'm reviewing them for the show or if they just seem interesting. So, from a protein bar standpoint, the answer is pretty much always going to be no. But in terms of sheerly a product standpoint, like, I don't hate this at all. Like, it's perfectly fine. I think that they did a pretty good job overall. It's something where, yeah, man, I could go over there and I could snack on these every now and again. Am I ever going to get them again? Probably not. But, like, at the same time, I'm not as opposed to the idea as I would be for most other protein bars that I've tried out in the past. I think these are, for me, definitely up there in terms of edibility and, just actually being pretty good for what they are. If I'm recommending them, if you're already into, like, the protein bar stuff and all that, you probably have your own, like, personal opinions and favorites and things like that. I don't know how much I'm going to be telling you that's new, but what I will say again is I think the mint chocolate aspect is nice. So if you like mint chocolate, there's that. And I do think that even if you are somebody who's into that type of stuff, but maybe you're not into the chalkiness or, the kind of pastiness, this mostly gets away with them. I don't think that if you're into that stuff, you really care, because chances are you've already made your peace with it. But, they're not bad. So in terms of, like, recommending them, it's like, they're not really a candy bar. They are still a protein bar, but they're one of the better ones that I've had. It's, I think my review probably works more for people like me who are just like, you just like to try stuff. Maybe you're a little bit curious about it as a thing. Yeah, it's fine. I think, again, overall, I think it's one of the better, like, protein things that I've had, just in terms of flavor and whatnot. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly protein-packtastic rest of your life. Because, I mean, regardless of anything, you definitely need protein in your body. That's the thing. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in your world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we deal with situations like that, it's important that we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, you know, maybe you're an expert on protein bars. Maybe you have your own YouTube channel where you review exclusively protein bars and protein supplements and all that stuff. And maybe you have particular words of wisdom for me as far as potential protein bar purchases in the future might be the case. I welcome them. I don't know, how often I'll get to them. Again, I don't really feature these as like a featured, item kind of thing, but yeah, sure, every now and again I'll pick one up from a gas station. And then you can go over there, you can collaborate, you can like I said, and then maybe we could do some sort of a collaboration video. I have no idea how that would work, by the way. I can't edit or do anything because I suck at what I do. That's kind of the appeal of doing the way that I do it, is like I just don't have to put in that much effort. So, but we'll make it work. Is Skype still a thing? We'll Skype it. I don't think Skype is a thing anymore. Zoom? It's Zoom now, right? My old man brain is tired. Goodbye!